Foodies, Chill Brown Vegan here. Welcome back to another vegan recipe video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some savory vegan breakfasts. But don't get me wrong, I do love a sweet breakfast, but sometimes you just need something a little more salty, a little more spicy, a little more satisfying. So that's what I got in store for you guys today. We have 5 recipes. They're very easy, very quick, and very delicious. Now before we get into this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. Are you done? Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the video. I will show you exactly how I make these savory, delicious meals. Let's get cooking. For this first meal, you're going to need an everything bagel. Go ahead and toast that thing up while we prepare everything else. What I used was some tofu cream cheese, some guac, tahini, sriracha, and I chopped up some cucumbers as well. Once your bagels are done, assemble all of the ingredients together however you like. Breakfast number 1 is done. It's quick, it's easy, it's delicious. What more could you ask for? For breakfast number 2, you're going to need 1 onion of your choice, 1 bell pepper. For some reason, I have 2. Don't judge. Your vegan sausage of choice, or mushrooms, or black beans, whatever floats your vegan boat. Then you're also going to need some tofu. Here I'm using extra firm. And last but certainly not least, you're going to need some hash browns. Go ahead and pop that hash brown in the toaster oven for a while we prep the other ingredients. Go ahead and peel and chop your onion. Wash and chop your bell peppers. Heat up your pan, add a little bit of oil or water. We are going to saute. First, add your onions to the pan. We're going to be sauteing them with just a little pinch of salt to taste. And then you're going to cook them down till they're somewhat soft. And when they get to that point, you're going to add in your green bell peppers. Toss everything around, make sure it all gets coated in that oil, and then season to your liking. I like to add a little bit of black pepper and garlic and onion powder to taste. Cook that down to your desired softness or crunchiness and then set that aside. We're going to get to work on our vegan sausage. I went ahead and I chopped up my vegan sausage into bite-sized pieces just to make it a little easier to fit into my breakfast burrito. We're just going to saute that until it's browned on both sides, and then you can set that aside. Next, I crumbled up some of that firm tofu and I'm just seasoning it. Everything will be down in the description box down below, so be sure to check that out just so you can get all the spices and measurements. But if you have your own recipe that's tried and true, go ahead and use that. Season it until it is perfection, and then we are ready to assemble. I just go ahead and get a tortilla and I pile everything on, including the hash brown and a little bit of cheese and of course sriracha. Roll it up, and then here I am greasing the pan. I'm going to go ahead and brown that on both sides. You want to get that flap where you folded it over down on the pan first. That's going to help seal it. And then I like to put a lid on top just to warm it all the way through. You should have it on a lower heat just so that it doesn't burn, but keep an eye on it. Flip it until both sides are golden brown, and then you are done. You got yourself a breakfast burrito. For this breakfast, you're going to need some butter, some type of chicken seasoning or chicken broth, tofu cream cheese, which is my favorite of all time, some grits, some baked beans, make sure they're vegan or vegetarian, some good old shrooms of your choice, some vegan cheese, I'm using BioLife, and 1 small red onion. Add some oil to the pan, same old, and then you're gonna go ahead and toss in your onions, saute them down until they're nice and soft, and then add in your baked beans. You're gonna let that get nice and heated through, and then we're gonna throw in about a handful of mushrooms. I was feeling a little lazy, so I didn't chop them any smaller, but feel free to chop them up if you need to. And then I'm going to go ahead and season it to my liking. You can find all of the spices I used down in the description box below, so be sure to check that out. Go ahead and give everything a nice mix, get all those flavors and seasonings incorporated, and when it looks like this, you're done. Set it aside. It's time to work on those grits. So to a pot, I'm adding some water. I'm going to go ahead and bring that to a boil. And I like to season my water before I put the grits in. I don't know why. It's just something I've always done. I don't know if it's weird or not, but do it however you feel comfortable doing it. And then once you've got all your seasonings in as much as you like, we're going to go ahead and start to slowly put in the grits and give it a stir. And you're just going to keep doing that, adding a little bit of grits, giving it a stir, a little bit of grits, giving it a stir, until you've added in all of the grits until it's nice and combined. So as you can see here, it's starting to get thick, and I know from experience it's going to get even thicker than this. So what I like to do at this point is add just a little bit of water to thin it out. If it's popping like this, turn the heat down because hot grits are not good for the skin. So I'm adding a little bit more flavor. I put in some vegan butter, and then I'm adding in some vegan cheese. I'm using BioLife cheddar shreds because that is, in my opinion, the best. Don't at me, bro. BioLife is better than Daya. I've said it. Here I added in a little bit of that cream cheese just to give it some creaminess, and then you're going to mix everything up until it's nice and combined. And I do like to taste as I go, so I'm just giving it a little taste just to see if it needs anything extra. And what I decided to add was some nutritional yeast and salt, and just a little bit more of that cream cheese. After that, it was pretty much perfect for me. The flavor was right, the consistency was right. It was time to plate it up. And thus, breakfast number 3 was born. You guys, this was phenomenal. It was so good. I did add a little bit of dried parsley flakes for the effect, but I could eat this every single day of my life. So for breakfast number 4, you're gonna need some bread, some guac, just egg, and some chunky salsa that you're almost out of and you didn't know what else to use it for, but we're using it for this. So go ahead and get your slice of bread. You'll need a cookie cutter or a glass as I'm using here. You're just gonna go ahead, press it down straight through, give it a twist, and pop out that middle. Pretty easy, huh? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you're gonna need some type of vegan butter, and it would probably be a better idea if you put the butter on it before you did this part. So put the butter on it first and then cut out the middle. And you're gonna put butter on both sides of the bread and that little hole that you cut out of the bread. Go ahead and place your bread into a heated frying pan, and you're gonna let it brown on one side. When it's done, you're gonna go ahead and flip it over and then add the just egg into the center of the bread. What I like to do is cover it with a lid so that it can cook all the way through. Don't leave it in there too long. You just want the other side of the bread to be toasted and the just egg to be nice and firm. Go ahead and set that aside. It's time to make the guac salsa. The salsa guac? Gualsa? Oh well, it doesn't matter. So go ahead and pour the guacamole and the salsa into a bowl. And basically all you're gonna do is just give it a mix. And that's pretty much it. You can decorate your toast however you like. I just put it around the edge so that you can still see the egg. And then I went in with a little bit of dried parsley and some red pepper flakes. And then that was my breakfast. Easy, quick, delicious. Thank you. Next. For the final breakfast, we're making roasted garlic hummus. You'll need tahini, 1 whole head of roasted garlic, some softened chickpeas. You can buy it in the can or soak and boil it like I do. And lastly, some rice cakes. I'm using the lightly salted variety, but feel free to use any kind that you like. So we're gonna throw everything into the blender. Go ahead and toss in your chickpeas, and I added in that whole head of garlic, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, or you can use lemon juice if you have it, some tahini, some olive oil, salt to taste. I'm using a couple of big pinches here. Remember, you can always add, but you can't take away, so be careful with the salt. And some cumin. Once you've got all the ingredients in, blend it up. Now all that's left is to assemble. I had 2 rice cakes smeared on some of that delicious thick and creamy hummus. And of course, I had to add some sriracha and a few pepitas just to give it a little extra oomph. And breakfast number 5 is done. Well guys, thank you so much for sticking with me till the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. I must say, I enjoyed every single one of these meals. They're all so good, delicious, savory, with a little bit of heat, not too much. But I hope you give at least one of them a try. If you do, let me know down in the comments below. Hope you guys are staying happy, healthy, and safe. And before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!